Division of international organization. In this chapter, we shall discuss the role of international organization after the collapse of Soviet Union. Soviet Union, Soviet Sangh. We shall examine how, in this emerging world, there were calls for the restructuring of international organization to cope up with various new challenges, including the rise of US powers. International organization, they are basically for the maintaining of peace, security, and economic cooperation throughout the world. Right? For example, earlier there was League of Nations, and the main work was League of Nations was to stop the war, any type of war between the two countries. But 1914 to 1918, we have to face First World War, and 1939 to 1945, we have to face Second World War. And Second World War was much destructive, where nuclear bomb was dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki on 6th of August and 9th of August 1945. Destruction was from one corner to another corner. It was immense destruction. To cope up with these type of situation, international organization needs. Then this UNO came up. League of Nations was banned. UN League of Nations को खत्म कर दिया गया, finish कर दिया गया. Then another organization came up, that was in 1945, that was UNO, and still and a lot of members, about 183 members are there in UNO, United Nations Organization. So, for the restructuring of international organization to cope up with various new challenges. Basically, this international organizations are to cope up with the new challenges. And what were the new challenges? That now Cold War started. After Second World War ended, Cold War started, and another various new challenges were the rise of US power, United States of America. It came up as a world power. You can say superpower. The potential reform of the United Nations Security Council is an interesting case of the reform process and its difficulties. United Nations difficulties, and what type of process they are processing to maintain the world peace and security. We then turn to India's involvement in the UN. What India is doing in the UN, United Nations, and its view of the Security Council. Security Council is one of the most important organ of the United Nations organization. The chapter closes by asking if the UN can play any role in dealing with the world domination or dominated by one superpower. In this chapter, we will look some other transformal organizations that are playing in as a crucial role. Look, till 1945, no one was superpower. But after the dropping of atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, United States came up as a superpower. Right? And when one country behaving like a superpower and wants to dominate the other countries and put them under their own on their own rule, then problem starts. So this was the problem with America also. Now the question comes now, why international organization? International organization क्यों चाहिए? What is the use of international organization? So read the two cartoons on this page. Both the cartoons comment on the ineffectiveness of the United Nations organization, usually referred to as the UN. In the Lebanon crisis in 2006, both the cartoons represent the kind of opinion that we often heard about the UN. Look, these are the two cartoons. These are the two cartoons, and UN was unable to control many times a worse situation, was unable to control. So this was during June 2006, Israel attacked Lebanon. Israel attacked Lebanon, saying that it was necessary to control the militant group called Hezbollah. Large numbers of civilians were killed, and many public buildings and even residential areas come under Israel's bombardment. बहुत सारे रेजिडेंशियल लोगों के ऊपर बम्बार्डमेंट की गई, जहां पे साधारण लोग रहा करते थे, right? And they were killed. And Israel said, at the time it is written, that Israel said that it is needed that to neutralize a militant group like called Hezbollah. It's called militant control Hezbollah. The UN passed a resolution on this only in August, and the Israel army withdrew from the region only in October. And there was a resolution from the UNO that Israel should leave the Lebanon immediately. That is, withdrew region only in October and August. This resolution was given in August that Israel should leave Lebanon, but they left Lebanon. Israeli left Lebanon in October. It means August to October they were not accepting the resolution of UNO. Both these cartoons comment on the role of UN. Same as League of Nations was unable to control the First World War and Second World War. Same here also UNO was also not successful as a failure to control the war between Israel and Lebanon. So that is the need. Okay, we have to try. You will say that then what is the need of UNO? There is need. Okay, the failure is there, but many success stories are also there. So on the other hand, we also find that UN is generally regarded as the most important international organization in today's world. It's a very important international organization of today's world. In the eyes of many people all over the world, it is indispensable and represents the great hope of humanity. UNO represents the great hope for humanity. They say that it's a great hope for humanity, for peace and progress. Why do we then need organization like UN? Let us hear two insiders. Why? We need. The United Nations was not created to take humanity to the heaven, but to save it from the hell. First is very important. This saying is that very important saying in related to UNO. It said the United Nations was not created to take humanity to the heaven. Humanity को heaven तक लाने के लिए नहीं है ये. हेवन जिस हेवन तक लेके जाने के लिए नहीं है, स्वर्ग तक लेके जाने के लिए नहीं है, but to save it from the hell. ह्यूमैनिटी को हेल से बचाने के लिए, ह्यूमैनिटी को नर्क से बचाने के लिए है. स्वर्ग में तो लेके नहीं जा सकते. इट सेड दैट हम यूएनओ इंसानियत को स्वर्ग में नहीं लेके जा सकती. पर हाँ, if we think very precisely and we follow the rule and regulation of the UNO, then yes, they can save us from the hell. हमें नर्क से तो बचा ही सकती है, स्वर्ग में नहीं लेके जा सकती, पर नर्क से तो बचा सकती है. So it was told by UN Second Secretary General, right? Then another was Shashi Tharoor, talking shop. He said that UNO is a talking shop. जहाँ पे सभी बोलते रहते हैं. UNO is a talking shop. There are a lot of speeches and meetings on the UN, especially during the annual session of the General Assembly. Especially in the General Assembly. Right, of the General Assembly, but as the Churchill put it, Georgia is better than World War. उनसे बोलना ज्यादा अच्छा है, इससे बनस्पति की लड़ाई लग जाए. So UNO is there to stop any type of war. UNO doesn't want any war should be there. So isn't better to have in one place? Georgia is better than World War. Isn't it better to have one place where all countries in the world can get together, both with each other, sometime with their words, rather than bore holes into each other on the battlefield? It's always better to sit together and to quarrel with each other, to fight with each other verbally, to fight with each other verbally, to argue with each other. But it is much better to fight like this, not in the battleground, but because battleground means it's a dangerous area. You can fight verbally, just arguments is there, debates are there, right? It is much better. But it is not better that you go and you fight in the battleground. It is said by a renowned person, Shashi Tharoor from India, when he was the former UN Secretary General for Communication and Public Information. These two quotes suggest something important. International organizations are not the answer to everything, but they are important. हम ये सोचते हैं कि if we take it granted that international organization, they will be able to do everything easy and they will able to stop all the wars. They will be able to give best life for the needy people. No, it's not possible, right? It's possible only that the organizations are not the answer to everything, but they are important. They are very important to control the unwanted situation. International organizations can control the unwanted organization. International organization may help the matters of war and peace. I told you many times that international organizations are there to solve the problem basically which happened due to war, and can create the peace also. They also help countries cooperate to make better living condition for all of us. Better cooperation, better coordination, better economic situation. When it will be better? When there will be no war. If war is there, then every economic aspect which is doing much better job for the boost up of economy, that has to be switched on for the army zone. उसे army zone पे ले आना पड़ेगा. Countries have conflicts and differences with each other. Countries have conflicts and differences with each other. That does not necessarily mean they must go to war. One country is having differences with the other country. America is always having lot of differences with Russia. But that doesn't mean that America should start war with Russia, because that in many points Russia or Moscow they don't accept whatever the US told them to do. So that does not necessarily mean that they must go to war to deal with their antagonism. And what do you mean by antagonism? Active hostility or opposition. Antagonism means active hostility and and opposition. They can instead discuss continuous issues and find peaceful solution. It is always very painful to go to war because in the war there will be destruction, there will be death, there will be bloodshed. To avoid the war, you should start peace negotiations. You can discuss contentious issue, which can create a trouble for you, and find peaceful solution. और हमें peaceful solution ढूंढना होगा war के against. Indeed, even though this is rarely noticed, most conflicts and differences are resolved without going to war. The role of an international organization can be important in this context. International organization always wants that always there should be a peaceful negotiations, peaceful solution. We should not go for war. And they were successful. Many times they were successful. Sometimes they were unsuccessful also. But we cannot leave the peace behind. हम पीछे नहीं से इसे छोड़ सकते. An international organization is not a super state with authority over its members. It has no international organization. They don't have the full authority of their states. Whatever the United Nations is saying, then those states or those countries have to accept their demand and command of the UN. Toto, whatever they are saying, they have to accept it. No, that is not like this. Right. So it is created by and respond to the state. It comes into being when state agrees to when state agrees. It comes into being when state agrees to its creation. State agrees to its creation. Once created, it can help member states resolve their problem peacefully. There should be peaceful cooperation ground. Once peaceful cooperation ground is created, then the countries who are fighting with each other, they can sit together before the table, side by side, and they discuss the problematic points. And they can when they discuss it, obviously sometime or somehow it could be a little bit late, but solution will be there. There is always some type of solution when you discuss some problems. So this is the answer. In next video. Till then, take care and have a nice time. Thank you.